it's like, we'll send them what they want and then they send us 500 documents. Like, why do you just send this to me?
Just like,
all in one email.
can you like, would have been, I think part of it's the college is also like, wait, you're traveling? We need all these forms.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? We knew about this like a month earlier.
I don't know if our advisor chased that down soon enough. Is probably what happened, and now we're scrambling. In other news, what's new?
Well,
absolutely nothing.
um,
I thought we were matching up for a second. Sort of. I thought we had the exact kind of shoe for a second. Were those your work shoes?
Yeah. I looked at this already.
I used to work in Shoe Carnival, and so I can recognize what people's work shoes are usually, like even if they're like brand new. Because I remember people would come in, they're like, I'm a nurse, or I'm an X or a Y. Yeah, and those are the like industrial anti-slip ones because of the tread pattern. I only worked there for 5 months, and I know this crap.
jeez.
5 months is still a pretty long time.
And also, it's
Do
dreadful.
you ever get like resellers? Like you saw someone like obviously like putting brand new to resell them.
How was working at Shoe Carnival? It does
Did
sound
you
good.
For someone who has ADHD, fucking abysmal. Because I love a list of tasks with clear goals that I complete and check off.
You
things.
should come work at Starbucks.
The problem with Shoe Carnival is a large part of my job was just like walking around and like straightening up wherever I thought it might need to be straightened up. But like to what degree was not clear. You know, like I would make an aisle literally perfect and take like an hour and a half on it. But there's like 12 or 14 aisles in the store, so it's like.
Let's work at Starbucks.
I will say there's one thing I don't miss, which is it only happened a handful of times, but occasionally we get the person who come in at closing, and it's one of those jobs where you can't tell them to leave.
Yeah.
So we just
You
have
can't?
No. Can't tell them they have to leave. You just gotta like. However, there are no rules against doing our normal closing things where we're collecting the trash, we turn off half the lights in the store.
Yeah, you can make it look like you're closing, but you can't be like, get out.
What's really sucks is we can't close the till till they leave.
Yeah.
Like any of them?
Yeah, just keep the rest.
Well, we only had like 2 or 3 tills, but like
Okay.
the process to go cash out was like 10 minutes minimum. Because you had to go count all your bills and
Yeah.
like sign off and when I was new for like the first couple of months, you don't just count your bills, the manager also counts your bills.
Yeah.
So even though they're pretty fast, you got 2 different people counting bills, and it's like we could have been out of here 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. But no, you had to go buy your baby some Jordans. Like your literal baby. Your literal baby. That was always the infuriating part. We had $70 baby shoes that we were gonna wear for maybe like a month and a half.
Well, no, I hate buying shoes. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's just a normal thing in your daily life.
No, well, for my parents, they used to buy my brother clothes, and
For a second, I was like,
yes,
You're buying baby shoes?
she's my child.
oh Lord. Yeah. Also, it's like
You should not buy
Baby-
expensive clothes for your children.
not. Oh my God. There's designer clothes for children, and it's like.
No, because they're gonna grow out of it in a month.
Granted, you should buy high quality children's clothing, but not like Gucci or Yeezy.
Oh.
You can buy
we don't do
Yeezys.
this practice.
What if I want my baby like decked out in Louis Vuitton?
You can't go
I mean, the nice thing about children's
Say
clothing
that.
is they're only gonna wear for a
That's
short
what
period of
you
time,
know
so
is
it's usually
waiting.
clean after they outgrow it. So if you plan on having another kid, you can still use it to shoot the same thing.
Portion towards the
Or
store.
there's a lot of families who need
Or, yeah,
children's
yeah.
clothing precisely because you burn through it so fast. And so it's honestly it's unfortunate if you're buying new. However, it is a nice commodity because it usually
You're
does
right.
that.
I found this guy's blog about it from 2018. Verbatim. Those points in the free challenge gave our team a huge advantage during the on-site CTF.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Thanks for telling us.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this was left on Saturday. We should make sure we always remember to turn this
Oh,
off.
that was probably us.
I was gonna say, every
Also, my
time-
car doesn't open that door anymore for some reason.
Well, it's
So-
because you're like not actively taking classes.
Oh, it
I
opens
mean,
every other door.
Just that one?
Nick said
Robert, where is everyone?
That's what I was kinda wondering, we're kinda lacking on new folks, this evening.
Well, if you look behind you, Robert,
Wait, can we do a
I
little
wrote
debrief
a
on
list
Nextdoor
of
first?
things to do.
That'd be cool.
Unfortunately, I can't read it.
Okay, well,
I'm
the
kidding.
other day we were trying to figure out how to do NetStat without access to NetStat. So I used snap install nmap version 793, and I use nmap. But the only way I could get to those protocols that I would usually use NetStat for was with cat and then proxnet arc. And we also had another one, it was like route and TCP was the other commands after net. I don't write that down. But like that was what we had to use because it said that, you know,
You're in
did
that
on the, well, on the Ubuntu thing, it said.
I can tell you
that
why.
access.
I can tell you why, you missed something pretty big, and you wanna know what it is?
Oh yeah, that was your machine.
Yeah.
So on the Ubuntu machines, they disable all the repositories.
That's exactly what I thought, that's why I was like.
And also, pro tip, pro hack, if you're not comfortable in the terminal, open up the software and updates application and it gives you a list of all the ones that are in the file but just not enabled, and you just checkbox, checkbox, checkbox.
Okay, yeah, I didn't have that.
So and that was actually a huge point, that was,
Oh, yeah,
that was like 15 points right there, was enabling it, cause it would update like several other packages they were looking for.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging you,
No,
I'm just saying.
I definitely needed help with that, so. Next time.
That's why when you see,
again, we need to be on the same.
when you
team.
run sudo apt update and it does not list any like gets, like it just like says all packages are up to date, it doesn't print anything else,
Yeah.
massive red flag, cause that means it's not checking anything. It's just like, well, I don't see anything that says there's newer versions, so I guess everything's up to date.
Alright.
Even though this package is from 2018,
Yeah. Alright.
so.
I'll remember that for next time. We could learn about that a little bit if you want. Any suggestions?
So do you want to start the brief, Robert?
Give me a second, so I need to get the Discord.
Gotcha.
Oh my god. Apparently because I have Nitro, we can play putt golf, poker night, sketch heads, chess in the park, land.io, lazy eats, letter league, and checkers in the park in voice channels now.
It's like iMessage games.
It's exactly that, but there's also one that lets everyone watch YouTube together, which is actually really handy if I want to present videos in a meeting. I'd be like, everyone, alright, join in the watch YouTube together. Also, I found out League of Legends runs on Mac OS. I found out that was a thing. It also runs surprisingly well. Man, we are lacking a lot of people this evening. I guess since we have so few people who are, I don't wanna say new, because you guys have already had a competition, most of you have already like experienced a competition now, or something like that. What would you like to do? I'm kinda leave it up to you, because I don't wanna do something big, not a ton of people are here. That would benefit from it. Well, NCL practice game is open. If you happen to have a laptop with you, I would highly recommend. Oh,
Practice
hey!
game closed.
What?
Practice game
Oh,
closed
it-
yesterday.
Oh, it closed yesterday? Oops.
Yes.
I misremembered.
Individual game opens Friday though. Sometime, I think 1, if I'm correct.
Hey,
That would
Luke,
be a challenge.
You wanna find out?
can you
Kind of.
bring
I don't want to.
what is the name of the package that the sort of like Swiss Army knife that had several
Like you
other
said,
packages
it's
packaged with
Yeah,
it?
they do get massive points and
Busy
it
box?
sells with competitions about it.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have to.
Alright, I'll just send it to you, check it out.
Well, this is three games.
But I will be
I
buying.
mean, if you want to do tonight, I'm down doing it tonight. We should talk to Robert, see if he's okay with it.
Cause like, I'd rather get it done sooner.
Oh,
rather than
absolutely, I
later.
completely agree with you.
Hey, Lou, I'm gonna join on the phone. Is the public key still available? Yes.
I'm gonna take a pause, but I heard Neil teaches freshman.
I heard that his classes aren't really more like into it than what he's talking about.
It's a valid objection.
But like, I
got
can't deal with that.
Do you guys have your laptops with you?
Patient.
Would you like to know how to SSH into the range and start doing some basic things for Linux boxes? Sounds great? Alright. Do you have a laptop with you? Alright, great, I brought an extra. I learned just to bring it with me.
You didn't bring your PC this time?
I did not bring my PC this time. Oh yeah, did you see that?
was great.
The competition itself, I'd say we did all right. We weren't super, awesome, not what I wanted. What turned out to happen though was the competition itself, like the VMs and the challenges, just fun, just right, just challenging. The admin side, like the communication, their Discord, not gonna lie.
This room is beautiful.
It was a bit of a shit show. When I joined their Discord that they linked with the downloads for the competition images, it had, get this, one general channel, one voice channel, 0 permissions, 0 roles. The owner didn't even have like a role, or it's like literally, it was like they had created a Discord server and linked it. Like they did nothing other than create a Discord server with a name. Oh yeah, they didn't have a support channel where you could go to request help. They had nothing. So that was interesting. I actually was messaging Ross during it. Due to part of the issue was they had some weird issues with their download links. And so I actually uploaded the images to my own Nextcloud instance and shared a share link to be like, hey, if you're having trouble with the official links and you can't get the other links that people are posting to like Google Drive, like other like competition people are posting Google Drive links for the ones they actually download, try my link. Do you know how much data my server served?
Dude,
It was like 650 gigabytes of data that it maxed out my gigabit fiber connection for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And it was consistent almost throughout the entire competition. There was always somebody downloading off my server, at least a handful. So it was kind of crazy how kind of screwed it was.
Yeah, that's
Again, the VMs themselves are actually fine. They were pretty challenging. I think that was good, but the admin side was not so hot.
I'm gonna try to figure out a date to get those servers for you guys. And I don't know how many laptops, but there's at least 2 or 3.
That would be great.
Any preferences on
When would they
days or
get it?
times?
Whatever the soonest that works for you. I am extremely flexible in terms of scheduling. Yeah. I have, the preference I have is whatever is the soonest time that is convenient and works for you. Hey Luke, it's been a while since I've had to set it up. We have a range.pen key for like the jump box that people have to install first before they can SSH in, right?
Yes.
Alright.
And it should be pinned in a C channel.
Also, Luke, remind me that I need to update the Kali image at some point. And it needs some work done to it.
I don't need to run it.
Where's the download keys? Is there, I'll point out something.
Oh yeah, let's see.
The keys, the download, the pen download? Range.pen?
Oh, it's the one on the drive.
So, you're on macOS, you're on Windows. Oh yeah, sorry. Do you have a laptop?
I didn't write about it.
Right on. Alright, this is gonna be sort of a. I'll bring in the future because it will help significantly.
Do you use this one? You should be in cybersecurity class, right? Yeah. You use this one?
Yeah, whatever you guys wanna do. If,
Is this yours? No, it's his.
alright, alright, can I enlist your guys' help since most of you already know how to do this? For the folks who are new, I wanna show them how to install the range.pem SSH key and get them logged into the jump box. Hey Luke, how many machines do we have again? Like 6?
I think there's 8
8?
right now.
Is that a fixed number or is that a variable number?
It is a variable number.
Does it have a limit?
We will reach, I don't think.
Okay, I was just kind of making sure I remember right. Alright, do you guys want to,
How many do you need?
I'm trying to figure that out now. 1, 2, 3. I guess what I wanna know is for the guys, you guys, since you guys already know a little bit, in terms of like you've been around the block before, do you want to like pair up with someone and sort of work with them on getting into it and like have your own box, or do you want SSH into the same box as them to sort of like, maybe if you wanna like sit with them and like side by side, they're like, alright,
I'll sit by them, side by side.
and we do the same machine, or do you want a separate machine?
Machine.
Same machine?
I'm sure what it is.
So I think 8's probably fine.
Okay.
Alright. To make this a little bit easier, I know what Diego. Do you guys want to like one or two of you maybe move over here and so that way we can kind of pepper people around a little bit more? Yeah. Thomas, do you want to go over there and work with Sam?
Yeah.
And you two are already figuring it out. Lucy, do you know how to do it? No? Okay, Lee. Do you remember how to do it?
I kinda do.
You kind of do?
I can.
Do you want to work with, how about I'll make it a 3 amigos between Ethan, Diego, and you guys can figure out getting into it? Because you remember how to do it, right?
Yeah, I broke it in the side. But just zip it off.
Try going into command prompt. See what happens. I spoke too soon. Alright, you're good to go. So I want you to become like a 3 amigo with Diego, Emily. Why did my brain just reboot? Like there was the Windows shutdown noise and it rebooted for a second. And you just like, oh, do you need to take that?
Yeah, it's like.
Alright, okay, perfect. Yeah, just if you 3 can kind of work together to get into the range. And I don't know if you necessarily want to share a box to work on the range, maybe just getting set up, have 2 different boxes, but yeah, I think you can work. Ross Jr. You need assistance. I'm assuming you might, but.
I believe I got connected the box once upon a time. I mean, kind of looking at Linux and everything right now, but
Yeah, so what we're gonna be connecting into is known as the Range, which is, I don't know how familiar you are, is the machine, we have essentially a set of machines on AWS. And the idea is you need to just
Do
patch
you
some holes in
have
them.
the?
And I'm gonna give some policies.
Okay. So for that, it's always the same one. There should be pin somewhere. Downloading this.
What am I doing?
And then.
Do you wanna work with me? I'm so terribly sorry, what's your name again? Josh. Josh, do you wanna work with me and Lucy over there and then I can get you guys hooked up with machines? Does your machine have enough battery to? Alright, cool.
Because that has like
Appreciate
the
you.
classic with files and everything. And then this is Windows. Actually, I love Windows.
What's that?
So.
Yeah, here, go ahead and sit there. I can sit here and sit.
When do I start doing
Now.
Robert.
Yes, sir. There are 8, hey, how are you?
Diego.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Sick. I'm Robert.
You interested in cybersecurity?
Right, so I won't lie to you, today we've got a little bit, it's more one-on-one type of laptop. So what we're doing today, I have to ask this here, you taking any like intro section C or no? So I'm pregnant, alright, how familiar with like Unix or Linux? Unix is sort of like Mac OS and Linux, and they like, it's named how familiar are with like SSH and stuff like that? Very familiar at all? Alright, so what we're going to be doing today is, this is sort of a little lesson a practical lesson in connecting two machines. We have virtual machines up in AWS, using SSH, which is their shell protocol, the shell terminal. Yeah, so we're just essentially connecting to a remote machine's terminal, using SSH. And the way we're doing that is using what's known as a key, essentially. So instead of using a password, or in addition to a password in some cases, here. So you're a little bit familiar with this in some regards. So there's some, yeah. I won't lie, this is a bit of a rough meeting to like dive into first, because usually we like got like some more well, or no, we have some other ones that are like a little bit more top level, more of a presentation. But as long as you're cool with this, let's see.
I don't have a marker.
Ross, shoot, I'm so sorry, Leave, I'm just
there's more IP addresses. And so they gave us a user, it's
let's see.
lovely. So then we're going to SSH again. We don't need it because we're going to do a
Make sure you go into Discord and.
You know, Lucy, I trust you.
and
I think I might need to like do you think you and don't tell me
okay, beautiful.
And you guys all.
No, no, yeah.
do you think you two can I hate to say it like this, but do you think you can figure out sort of how to kind of get into this thing together and sort of figure some stuff out?
I don't know how well that, I don't know how well that would work. I
Hey,
will
look.
say-
Okay,
Do you guys want to
then
do
love
machine
is
like work at it? You guys just want to watch me?
If I remember right, the range.tmp is pinned in a message in the defense channel.
Honestly, I think you might just.
so message template.
I just wanted to double check before I like
Okay,
spell
so now
it.
you're in.
I need the help.
Hey, what was that?
Yeah.
I went up to the Liberty and I
So,
oh shit,
like,
it's a class.
Let's see.
All the users, I kind of look at it
So I didn't even, I forgot about the lead.
No. So essentially all you need to do is find the IP address in the defense channel, get the SSH and install on your machine, connect to it.
Yeah.
And what are we exactly?
It's one of those steps that are part of being a key install, but it's
So,
I wish I could give you overview off the top of my head, but I don't remember the exact.
It's cool. I'll just
I've seen that before.
No, that's you two. I want you two to work together, and I want you two to essentially work to SSH in the same box. But anyway.
Do you know what the machine was? Kind of go over some stuff?
Sorry, did you make that for a second?
I have no idea. So, yeah, firewall SDCC.
No.
It's like
Alright.
southeast Virginia, second.
Do you think I could ask you a favor if you could move over one seat so they kind of, you need a skill check or something? Hey, I love it.
So,
Alright,
you guys
so,
this is
I'm gonna work with you two to help you get into the range. You've got used to, right?
Wait, yeah, okay.
So, alright, do you, if you two have got it pretty
Stage
No, we
basically
have
is
to
like
opt
a
in.
protocol
Okay, yeah.
where you can connect
It's like,
to a
I
server
didn't
on
know
a computer.
It's
So there's
just
122.
It's just
I
like,
guess
That's the jump box, right? If I remember right? Are there any levels? Oh yeah, user folder, because server installs don't have like documents, photos, because why would you, you're not using like a user, you're using it to run stuff, there's a server, so there's no need to add downloads or desktop files, for example.
What rings in the keys.
So,
So you know what key is?
however, something you might wanna do is back up to the users folder and list that one, and see how many users there are.
So yeah, so when you connect your SDs are kind of super.
Alright, so if you two, to start off with opening a terminal, do you happen to have Discord? Alright, so are you in our Discord?
Yeah.
Alright, so go to that channel. So I go to that server. Yes, let me go set up.
Wait, you
Remind me.
do that?
You have any questions?
Yeah. So like that.
Yep, I don't think you do.
That's what you
Thank you for floating around. I think you can go over and help Lucy and then once you get
Exactly, that's exactly.
just make sure they're good.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey Rob, are there any like worksheets or?
There's some actually,
Sheets.
those in there.
I'm in the same one as you. Yeah.
Bingo. Spectacular. So there's a bunch of just random information in those.
Okay, so
I
these
do
guys-
also have a PDF of the printout we used last year for that instead.
So usually what you want to do is this kind of stuff, so when you connect, so it's gonna be a big
I have a table. I don't have a brick handy. I can get one.
Do you know how to check what people do? Because
Right.
you just little things. Okay, I have one.
No, I
Yeah, but we have new employees.
Hey Sam, do you have a the brick for your Mac locator?
You know how to make
How low are you?
So.
not my computer, I do not.
What?
This tiny thing, so we can see if this
That'll
will do
work.
something.
It's only, it'll even.
It's like a 25 or 30 watt. That's fine.
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There is an outlet right here. Can we?
That's so easy.
Right here.
And then.
You take that in because it has a water. Actually,
Oh wait, actually. I did it wrong.
Password denied, cannot lock.
The one evening I don't bring my bag of goodies and charge
Pseudo.
Pseudo, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna run more, but I came here straight from my town, so I can have.
Oh, it's not.
I don't know.
Whoops. No, this doesn't have. You plug it up that direction, it'll actually give you a readout on how much it's. Oh, that's cool. I usually forgot that. Alright, let's see. Okay, as long as it'll extend the life at least somewhat.
Robert,
What's up?
how else can you get access to the range if you can't use it?
Come on, man. No.
We can through email.
No.
Sent you a message.
Yeah.
Oh, cause he's on my laptop, that's right. Yeah, if you wanna do a thumb drive, that'd probably be the easiest, if you got one handy.
No. No.
Actually, I've got one handy here.
And
I
then.
guess an actual file right now.
Alright, so if you wanna go ahead and just open up a terminal,
So.
if you're not familiar with that.
Past
It will take anywhere from 20
You can change someone's
What's that?
password, so I'm gonna do.
So we're not even there yet, okay, so go into the pinned comments,
Some of these are
up there at the top.
password. Sorry, they're
And
between
then
them.
pause. Go ahead and download that file right there.
So that's for your password.
Alright, go ahead and open
So
that.
just, or actually, it's capital A, E-A-A.
I've used UFW2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Google's your.
Alright, go into the defense team channel,
You laugh, but yeah.
and if you go up into pinned comments in the defense team channel, there is a message from Luke from February of this year with the file range.pdm.
So
Go
if I
ahead and
wanna
download
change
that.
this password, I'll do sudo
Now,
password
I
and
don't
username.
use the terminal, so give me 1 second. Or or I use a different tool.
And then it'll make me put it in twice like that. So I'm gonna do new hire.
So, just sanity checking.
And
if
then
you guys see the wrong
there's a
thing.
special place if I know where it is. Seal the password. Okay, also, let's say.
How old is it?
It's from 2020, so, you know, it's still chugging.
Okay, there are only 2 groups.
Still quite a shit.
Alright, so check this out. Once you have that file downloaded,
Important thing, firewall.
you're gonna be in your terminal, right? And most likely then, you're just making sure we're on the same page here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna unable to import. Okay, no. You're not opening that file. You just have it downloaded.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do SSH. Let me make this bigger so you guys can actually see this.
Okay, did I spoil it?
A lot easier to read. We're gonna do SSH.
It's in my.
Would you recommend
No.
setting
Yep. So, sorry, jumping to that. If you LS it'll present you with a list of like.
There we go.
Well, you're on.
I have no clue what happened.
So your instructions are gonna be listed.
So, we enable the firewall.
Dir. And so you can see we're on the CD, so we can do CD users.
Yeah.
So we're in the users
So, we're
directory.
gonna look up what
And
port this is.
when I say LS, you're gonna
So
type
we
it.
don't get kicked out.
That's what it is. Yeah, so CD.
Because let's say we did enable it, but we didn't think about it.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
Are you control
I believe it's
a
what
PowerShell terminal or a command prompt?
I
Yeah.
actually stole this.
So
Like,
the same home directory
Okay, and then.
shortcut, like on Linux, cd space tilde works on PowerShell.
Alright, we're
All
gonna
those
look
shortcuts to basically.
That is perfect. I don't know if I wanted to introduce that
be able to talk, but you don't.
like shortcuts in terms of complexity just yet, because I'm still getting people like pressing the term. But that is very helpful. Thank you. I didn't know that that worked in PowerShell.
And then so the next thing is you basically set this.
Well, this is actually I turned on
I
purpose.
made the mistake that I fixed.
So then we're gonna dir into downloads.
So the next thing we'll do is like.
And so now we're in your downloads, or we can. I'm sorry, not dir. Excuse me.
I think you do the password.
CD into your downloads. So now we're in your downloads. You are going to be doing CD. So when you do ls -l, you're in your user folder, right? Yeah. So your download. Okay. CD into your downloads folder. Do you know how to do that? So it's just CD, short for change directory space, and then the directory you want. Pro tip: if you start typing it, so if I do CD downloads and I press tab, you can essentially tab autocomplete. You've done program. It's the same idea. If there's more than like if I do CD. If I do CD-DO, there's documents and downloads, and so it won't immediately autocomplete, but it'll tell you what's there. Yeah, and so then you just type as far to have it know which one it is. Depending on which install you're on, what it might do is you keep pressing tab, it'll cycle through the various options, but I find that to be
I was gonna say, it sounds like my.
Did you see that?
Alright, firewall.
So once you're in your downloads,
Oh shit, sorry. I just.
SSH.
You're good. I don't want to interrupt you.
Beautiful.
yeah, we're gonna access range.
And then it'll give you your password.
That's precisely why. You're on macOS, so what's probably gonna happen is once you try to run the command accessing that PEM file.
That's way easier.
Okay, so actually, yeah. So what we're doing is we're doing SSH, because that's the command we're running, and then you're following along. Yep, you got the idea so far. Range.pem, because that's the name of our key file. And now let me.
I don't think we'll get
Range info. Bastions are jump box, right, Luke? Yep. All right, just double checking.
Yeah, okay, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And a Turing is the login code.
Oh, no, you do have diversity EDU. I hate that. So it's literally just.
We made it a.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh. Pseudo.
Okay, so this is what's. Sorry, go ahead.
That's scary.
I really like Lucy putting the Shrek in the channel. I think that really helps us.
Really
Alright,
brings it all
it
together.
really helps a lot. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're SSHing into our jump box. Okay, with the jump, and I know that just is a word, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but what it,
I was thinking of it.
yeah, essentially, but the idea behind the jump box is public IP addresses are expensive when it comes to AWS and stuff like that. We don't wanna have 7 different public IP addresses. Also in terms of infrastructure, well, there's more to it than that, but I was kind of like,
The main idea is the internal machines are extremely
oh, but yeah, that too, but I was, it also helps in other ways. I was trying to go for the more simple version
So instead
in
of
terms
going
of
for the
the
public IP address,
Oh my
you
God, I
go
didn't
for
get
the
that.
over the IP address?
So okay, so how it works is we have virtual machines. Only one is accessible from the outside internet, and that is our jump box. Our jump box doesn't have any issues. Its entire job in that is to give us essentially a stone to jump on to then get to our
So it's like the gateway.
precisely. Yes, but the actual technical term gateway, no.
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure.
Gateway's like a browser.
Our gateway is more like when you have a network. The gateway is essentially the machine that's like, hi, I'm the way to the internet.
So.
And I don't believe our jump box operates in that function. Could be
No, I'm
mistaken.
literally just seeing who's on and there's like, what are we else doing? Which is not good.
So, to kind of get to the point though, we're SSHing into our jump box. This is not a machine we're going to be doing anything to. This is one that's just going to be like a jump, playing hopscotch, or stepping stone to the machine virtually. Did you get all that? I know I was kind of talking away.
Full team is like, they make sure.
Any questions specifically? So, we have the option for the key, but we actually have to tell it where we want to go. So we're going to say a lovelace, because that is the user. A lovelace. That is the password. You don't need that just yet. So then we're going to say at, because that's the user a lovelace. Now depending on your terminal, you might have different things, but you can copy this IP address. Command C.
We'll have to SSH again.
And then in this terminal, I can actually just paste right here.
The 18.204, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I can just press enter. It's going to ask me if I know this machine, because essentially it's saying, hey, we've never connected to this machine before. Do you want to continue connecting to it? It essentially remembers, a couple of different things. Yeah. So go ahead and hit OK. So you're going to hit yes to that. Unless the public key, it does not work.
I did. Okay, and then.
Basically, you're doing the same thing again.
Alright, yeah, that may or may not be the right key. Let me check. Hey, Blue. I don't mean to take your attention away from ruining people's evenings by breaking into the machines. Hold on 1 second. However,
I also posted a diagram of the range in the NetSuite channel. That's not for anybody.
spectacular. Am I going crazy here, or am I forgetting something?
Robert, how does this?
It needs to be the Ubuntu user.
That's right.
Would you changing passwords
That's right. 8
I've written out those instructions like so many times. I just
We
need to
need
pin
to
those
pin
too.
them, yeah.
I am eagerly awaiting the drop flag. I hope you all know that. There's no drop flag?
That's what?
Oh, are we just supposed to be going at it right now? Because I will gladly go at
I'm just doing enumeration.
it. Okay, I'm doing enumeration as well.
I installed Audit for everybody so I could see what I'm
Don't follow what I'm doing just yet real quick. I'm trying to figure out how to add it.
Yeah. Or, if you would like, give us a drop flag and we will go. I don't want to jump the gun and have.
Yeah, I'm still getting some people in, so.
That's what I was. Okay. Cool.
And also I'm gonna give you some specific IP addresses to go harder on, and some to back off on, because there's some that are not,
You know what?
they're still getting their feet underneath them, you know what I'm saying?
They're just gonna like format
Understood.
you,
Some engagement.
and then they're going to like do these follow messages, and they're gonna make it so like.
Luke, I'm gonna have to ask you
like,
a
if
dumb
text
question.
something, you're not.
Am I using
you'll be able to
A-Turn or
actually
A-Lovelace?
do commands, or it's just
Okay.
gonna return exactly what you type, and they're gonna like echo yourself, which is good.
Is that a good joke?
You gotta like stop.
I think you do that too.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, it's starting to find, because I know you have actually some nicer instructions.
No, I'm trying to like.
There's no custom users on that box. It's literally just the default.
Alright,
Ubuntu
we're gonna do
users.
the version.
I forgot about that. Yep, there we go.
There you go.
Oh wait.
Cool. Wait, still permission denied.
Yeah, and then you have to clear out
That.
your.
Oh. Alright, cool. Alright, well they won't have it, so I'll get some later. Alright, so what you're doing is you're not using A-Lovelace or anything like that. You're using it had just been a hot minute. I have all the details saved. But yeah, go ahead and back to your turn. I oh. So also rotate, you can up arrow. I'm taking back to yeah. Then press enter. Okay, so here, let me just go ahead. Alright, like progress has been made.
Yeah, basically.
It's fine. I'll just find
Give me 1 second.
Do you know where to go from here? Oh, yeah, just, your security sheet.
Alright,
Yeah, you're both on the same one.
what we're gonna do
So the first thing is firewall.
is so there's that.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so what's the pseudo password?
Give me the keywords.
Editing, one of these. Editing user password.
Roots now.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like, as long as you, yeah. It's like,
Did you have to list all the users?
Yeah.
I just,
This feels like every time.
introduction.
I don't know why I'm having so many issues with this when I've done it so many times before. Even though it has been a month or two, I'm surprised it's like giving me this many problems.
No, I was the only programmer on my team for the robotics, and I hate now.
Alright, let's see. Security Club. Edit this.
Why?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've been here. Thank you for
Yeah.
screenshots. I download this.
I got caught. Yeah. It was a little self-inflicted. I don't have to exit this file.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've had like business managers in before.
Oh no.
Well, like to scan it. Yes. What major are you? Okay.
What's that? Raymond James. So what do you do? It's like it's the CT.
Hey,
Do you wanna leave all the users there?
hey Ethan, I have a question for you. Can I call a friend? Can I have a safety line? I don't know what I'm doing wrong somehow. I cannot get this to work.
Okay, I'll be over there in a second. Changes your password. You don't want to delete any users, and they don't have.
Yeah, I'm having some issues with the key file, it seems. It works in Termius, but it's throwing a hissy fit in Terminal, which is a bit of an unfortunate situation. Unprotected private key file. Permissions.
You need to change permissions.
Oh, that's right. What's that?
Mod.
Yeah. Mod 400.
We're just going to
Oh. Wow.
Root doesn't have to do
You know what? Let's try it on. Wait. Oh, she's on. Can you try it?
It works on Windows without having to do
Yeah, we're
anything.
just
Yeah, just go ahead and
all
send
other
it.
privileges. No groups get privileges.
Yeah, you're good. Let's go ahead and try it on your system. You also have the same issue. Let's see if is this a M1 or Intel? M1? Alright, so let's try this. Yeah, do you mind if I try it here?
Go ahead.
Did we change any password?
Huh?
No.
Well, I don't think mine is.
Yes, that's why.
Let's see, mod 400 rain.
So that's the thing, is like, yeah, and you have to see what password so you set that box.
Oh, it's change mod.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. There's our problem.
I want to change it manually, or is there?
Wow, yeah, and then.
Okay, and then.
Wow! There you go. Yeah, go ahead and up arrow and press enter. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh well, I'm so proud. Alright, cool. Now we can go to the next step. Took us long enough.
We're on Discord. Just to let you know, it's
Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna get you two into the same box because what I'm gonna show you probably shouldn't end up stepping on each other's toes. And just so we're not taking up a ton of space. Alright, let me take a look. Hey Patrick, would you like some machines to be sicked on?
I hate it so many.
I'm sorry?
Would you like some machines to be sicked on?
Yes, please.
Alright, so right off the bat, 20,
20? Okay.
20 and 40.
You're so smart.
20 and 40, those are good to go or not good to go?
Those are,
Yeah, I hate it. So.
I'm saying don't go easy on those ones.
Don't go, okay, understood. Understood.
Hey Luke, do you happen to, let's see, never mind. Hey guys, can I have your attention really quickly?
Last I checked.
If you are SSH into a machine currently, can you raise your hand? What's the last digit of yours? Like the last point?
So it's 20 and
40.
40, got it. 20 and 40.
Do you happen to know point
I have this
There's this point 50,
We're point 40.
point 40,
70.
70.
Why did you say 20?
Don't worry about
That was it.
No, I do want to work.
Alright, so we had 50, we had 40, we had, what were you over here? 70. Is anyone on 60? 60. Going once, going twice. Alright, thank you. Very cool. Sorry, I just needed to make sure.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say,
He's gonna go harm me, yeah. I will not to, because I'm still a beginner too. I know I'm like the most senior member here, but I don't know what shit.
well, you got Thomas next to you, so. Where is Thomas? Well, trial by fire.
Well, yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, so what I'm gonna show you guys is. What's that? Oh, trust me, you won't be able to do anything. It's fine. Alright, so what we're gonna do is you see these lists like addresses. So what this is implying is that we have 10.0.10.10 through 10.0.10.80 and all the ones between in terms of these last two. So basically we have 8 to 23. It's 20, 30. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's a pattern. There's no precise logic to it other than that we use the most convenience. Believe it depends a little bit on what's that? It's just the most convenient and easy to understand structure. We could have technically done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but this is yeah. I know my machine at home, my server summit is 10.42 megabyte 21 and then 69. That's the IP address for my server. That's what I chose.
I don't know what this does.
So what we're gonna do is we are going to do an SSH one of those. A Lovelace at 10.0.10.70. 70 is the one we're going to choose.
So basically you're giving it the password.
Oh, and Patrick, to give some additional guidance, I wouldn't say go straight for the flattening. I would toy with your prey a little bit.
Okay, so I just want to limit sudo to only us.
Have some fun. Don't shut them out completely.
I'll try not to. Just 20 and 40, right? Those are what I've got.
I would say.
Can you confirm that the people on those boxes have access to those boxes?
You have access to your box, right, Simeon?
They deleted his SSH config.
So you already deleted the SSH config, but do you currently have terminal access? ls-l maybe, see if you got anything? Who's on 40 again? Thomas?
Yes.
You have terminal access?
Yes.
Um,
Okay, I was asked to verify. They have terminal access as far as I know.
Okay.
I'd say, except for
The gold user doesn't have access, and it should.
So what does that mean for Thomas and Simeon? If this were a competition, what would be happening?
Wait, what happened?
if you do not, so when
Service is down, exactly.
I was about to say, when the gold team does not have access, that is both usually the grading and also how your services are judged. I'm sure you're aware of this.
Yeah.
When the meme machine is not printing memes, you're not making money. That is a common scenario.
I'll never abuse the gold team user, but
It's usually off limits. Usually.
I usually don't. And when I do, it's like end of day.
Go ahead and press enter on that.
okay, so
So yeah.
Oh, and then you'll need to go ahead and enter. You can pretty much copy and paste it, but it is capital A, Ada, 1, 2, 3.
That sounds cool.
I'm feeling both Simeon and Thomas have done something very smart.
I wouldn't.
And this wouldn't necessarily work for competitions. I'll explain once we wrap up, but this is
really hard.
I think I know what they did, and it's kind of cheap in my opinion, but we could have done it back in 2021, yeah, I think 2021, when they first moved to AWS. I'll say that.
Hey, A Lovelace is supposed to have ADA123 as its password, right? Oh wait, never mind. Diego's in 70. Wow.
yeah,
Let's. I did say 60. Let's go ahead and do 60. My bad. I totally forgot. How I do that. Control C. Yeah, that is your. So Diego actually did something really smart. He changed the user password. Yeah, that. So we were just not able to do the process then. Perfect example as to what we're supposed to do. Alright, so now you're into the sheet.
we defended against Robert.
Yeah, no, you defended against my dumb self not reading Diego saying taking 70. Alright, cool. So now that we're into this machine. Now we can finally do
Okay, I don't know what this
sorry,
means
60.
though,
60? I just want to make it.
what is this?
I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Same password as what was supposed to be. AWS.
Oh,
Oh, it's not gonna show me. That's the whole point. Yeah, so just go and do a whack ton of backspaces.
Don't catch me though.
Yeah, there you go.
Change, okay.
I don't exactly know how it works, but I'm gonna.
Good. Your log takes a lot more. I was like, what? I'm going. So let me give you some great commands to start off with. So sudo. This is a command you're going to run into a lot. This is running command as super user or admin. This is very similar to right-clicking an executable in Windows and run as administrator. In the same way that it gives access to many, if not all, system files and resources. Use this carefully. You shouldn't have to run anything as sudo unless there's a very, 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 very clear reason as to why.
No, here's what I did.
When you're running, for example, sudo apt, so this is a common difference between Windows and Linux. And Linux is the way we handle software is repositories. So instead of going like having the software have different ways of updating itself, this or that, there are central repositories. So we're going to there's usually your repositories. You can also add your own repositories, and what it is that the software is uploaded to those repositories, and whenever a new version is released, you can then essentially have software like app that you can run that can go check those repositories, see what dependencies the new updates have, or when you try to install something, what dependencies it has, and so when you install an application, you can get the most up-to-date version of all the dependencies, and you can also update them all, a command. And because it's handling system packages and checks and stuff like that, apt does a lot of things. Apt is the tool that manages all the software installed on your system. Not that you can't get manual. It's that it take a long. It totally depends. It's more like this is the structure we have, and so if I do apt help, you'll see it has a ton of options. These all have options underneath them, so you can list. So it lists all the packages, search. Search. And you do apt without well, you saw I just did. Apt help. So when you do sudo apt, if I wanted to do update, I would want to do this as a sudo user because I am updating the local cache.
Whereas apping is
Sudo is not okay. So sudo is its own command. Why? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna try.
That was kind of weird. Yeah, so if I do apt help, I don't need, so like I can also do, fun fact, so ARM is short for remove, that's how you delete a file, so if I do ls-l, I'm going to do touch. Don't worry about this command, usually what it's meant to be is like you touch a file to change its modified date. If that makes sense, you're like touching a file to change its date, but if it doesn't exist, I should create the file. So I can do touch, my no square.
Let me try.
Touch, like,
Sudo.
could you update it and then it would create a file and the space that you're not access to? If you don't have right access to that directly, so I'm going to do touch and then the file with my no square. Sorry, it's a terrible joke. So if I do ls-l now, you can see there's a file, just no extension or anything, it's empty, it literally takes up 0 space called my no square. And then what I can do is I can do move my no square to let me get rid of this terrible joke to over there. So now
Okay, wait, I got something.
I have over there. That's still the same file. It has just been moved to a new location. And if it has some contents, if I actually do nano over there, and I did this is a file. I did control X. This is just a basic text editor. So now if I do ls-l by the way, this now has some space. You can see where it says 0 before and now it says 16. It's not characters, it's bytes. Well, there's not a direct linkage. It totally depends on the encoding and stuff like that. But now there's some content in the file. So what I'm going to do now is I can actually do cat over there. You can see the contents are, this is a file. Well, cat, oh man, cat, concatenate file and print it to the standard output. So the idea is it takes the, like, so if I did another file, like, move it cat.
So, because of how I changed it,
This has this doesn't have an SSH config, but essentially you can, there's also a command called less, so if I do less over there, this is another way of seeing contents of the file. By the way, you just saw me use the command for manual. Most commands on the system have a command, so if you want to know about a command, you can do man, I can do like man rm, command, remove files or directories. So I can actually now do move again over there to over here. And then it's just the names of the file. And actually, by the way, you guys can do ls and see exactly what I'm doing. So if you do ls, you can see there's a file over here, right?
No, so
So you're doing so ls is list. So you can't list a file. You can list a directory and then you can see the contents of that directory in a list. If
From
that
someone
makes
else's
sense.
view, there's no.
But now if I go tab over here, by the way, just finish, you can see it's still the same file, but it's just been moved to the name. And if I want to remove that file, so by the way, before I do that, you can actually copy over here to over. Oh, there we go. Over there to over here v2. And now if I do ls-l, there's now 2 files. And if I wanted to remove the original over there,
Hey, Emily, how's it going
you
here?
can see now there's only over here v2.
Are you getting attacked?
So now, right, so that's super basics on the
we
way
made our
files.
social
So by the way,
security
Linux, if you don't know, AWS is great because it has a lineage. Everything's a file. Every process on the system is a file. Every object in the system is a file. Everything's a file.
And but then we're also like.
In one way or another. It may be abstracted in certain ways. It may be annoying.
I did.
But that's something that so these commands you can do. There's a ton. It's a very powerful piece of basic commands. In terms of what you can get away with. Now, let me show you some fun stuff. So I'm going to do sudo apt update. And so remember when we're talking about repositories, your system doesn't always reach out and read those repositories directly. It will update those repositories to refresh its own local repository.
But it won't handle those repositories.
What you should know is a repository has sort of 2 sides of it. It has essentially the listing, which is essentially like a phone book of like all the packages and their versions that it has, going back chronologically and stuff. And then there's actually, so you would just look at a phone book, and then when you go to run an update, you can be like, okay, I have this current version. There's a new version of the repository, it's one that I just refreshed my local repository. I'm gonna go reach out to the repository and get that update. So when we do sudo apt update, we're just updating what we have locally on the machine. So you can see it says, boom, fetching.
No, we were out.
It says 39 packages are being upgraded. This is an example when we don't use sudo because we're not modifying anything. And we up the list, upgradable. And it lists all packages, newly upgraded, gives us a bit of information about like what current version we're running, so upgradable from, and when currently is available. So you can do sudo apt upgrade. What this will do is it will then apply those updates. So it'll tell us what's going to update, it's going to tell us how much space it's going to take up, you press enter. So now this is going through and updating all the packages on the system that reported that they have. This is a great first step because it's like running Windows Update. There's a vulnerability or something like that.
And
Like you just want to put your firewall up.
there's only us there, so we're fine.
You don't have any does that. Like, or like choose
No,
your
I haven't
test.
gotten any little echoes or anything.
Hey, what IP address are you guys on again?
Why?
I just want to know. 40. 40? Wait, you're 40? No, you're not 40. What are you on? 50? No, no, it was 70. That's right.
Oh my god.
Hey, Patrick.
What?
You want to come knocking on 70 and see if you can get in there?
Sure.
Cool.
I'm getting
Only I think myself and Root.
Alright. Yeah, you can see this is a particularly large update.
So you're
Meanwhile,
Our goal is to figure out what
start at goal to work way down.
yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. I mean, we really did just leap into this. I needed to give you a little bit of background for Cybersecurity Club. We do a couple of different things. A lot of it is just sort of like giving you information about, like, I've been on a huge sort of infographic or informational spiel, ranging anywhere from VPNs to password managers to like the basics of like your personal security, to even more advanced stuff like
That's when I made my little whoopsie, like, oh, you can't come in.
how should I put it?
I'm sorry, they probably had like a user
Like in competitions and practical situations in business, whether it be not even necessarily system security, physical security, like key card access, who has access, like man, if you give the same code to everyone in the building and everyone has, access to every door, then what's the point of having a key card? You could have a rogue employee go crazy in the server room. That's terrible physical security. We actually have some nice motion detectors, but one thing that's really crap about physical security is you might card in on the outside, but on the inside you have the motion sensor, so you just approach the door and push it open and it's all one.
That's why I was like taking a
Well,
long
As
time.
long as they have somebody that can open
When
the
I
door
was
on the
like-
side.
well then you've still got the problem of the world. Anyone can do that no matter what sort of security. Someone can throw it on the other side. But a big thing to do is if you don't if you have a really crappy seal on your door or something like that, someone take an air can, flip it upside down, you know, flip an air can upside down, glass out the propellant, and then stick that through the crack of the door, press it, and it'll trigger the motion sensor.
I probably learned most.
That's a thing you can do for some crack. So that's an example of
Never thought about doing that.
that came from the DEF CON talk, which is a sort of hacker conference. To put it in a massive nutshell,
Only a
there's way more to it than that, but
I've never really thought about flying it.
well, because what it really is it's just motion to trigger the sensor. So that's an example of like physical security, and that's a very hyper specific example. It's like I have a photo, I take it every time I walk in there. Joey Berry, that residence, their trash room on the first floor is also their networking room. And the door is always open. And so someone could just walk in and plug in a little Raspberry Pi, and as long as no one from IT walks in there, no one would be the wiser. Perfect example of it. You know,
It's like
no one's gonna touch that. Who's doing the trash?
Yeah,
They
so
don't know
you
that.
choose something to see.
They don't know that that doesn't belong there.
Also,
IT might know if they see a random device on their switch or something like that. I hope they notice. But you know, that's an example of physical security. It doesn't matter how secure your firewall is and stuff like that. Someone can just walk in and plug a USB key in your server. So there's even more aspects to that. It's like you can plan for that and be like already disable all the USB ports on your server because maybe you don't need them. Maybe you have remote access to everything. Why would you need USB ports on your server? So go ahead and disable
I
it.
have faith. Like, I haven't gotten this one.
Usually it's just blanket disable. Yeah, because a lot of them have remote management where you can change BIOS settings like your USB ports remotely. So that's an example.
So this is like the number SSD.
To sort of
And
elaborate
then
more
this is
though.
like each little IP address. So like,
With the cybersecurity part, we do a lot of this where it's like informative information. It's like a process, and then also we have the defense lab. Like this weekend we have a competition called Rain Tanks. We're flying down to Florida. And we're going to be doing what's a CTF. We're essentially we're combing through machines, looking, we're doing sort of investigative, sort of forensic-based work to try and get into the system to find flags. So usually screens or I have to participate in competitions, so it's highly encouraged. We just did one called Pipestorm, which is it is entirely dependent on the competition. There's meetings where we'll be like, hey, we're signed to this competition, we're interested in this as well. So like for Pipestorm, we needed resumes and name competition.
I was gonna say, I have a resume on file, but too many people ask for it.
What's your name, by the way? So to avoid some confusion, we have our alumni actually involved play. You hear Patrick and Luke talking in the voice chat. We have one of the former co-presidents of the club is also named Ross. So if I would say Ross Jr., this is Ross Jr., sorry. And then Ross, I guess Ross Sr. technically. Birds just it's just a figment of our oh my god. Yeah. Now that this finished updating though, I can kind of reel it back into what we're talking about here. So another super basic thing is, have any of you ever messed with like a firewall or something like that? Like probably opening up ports maybe for a game or something like that. So there's one on Linux, at least for a bunch of machines that we like to use, and it's called UWW. So we're going to do sudo apt install. You guys want to hit enter, because I've already entered it. So it's already installed actually, so what we can do is we can do UFW status. So we can see sudo UFW status, and so we can see inactive, it's not currently running. What we can do is we can do UFW allow SSH. And so because it knows what SSH is, usually we have to specify the port number, port numbers with networking. Yeah. Are you okay. So, are you watching a Chris Fix video? What? Oh, sick. Anyway, that is entirely. Okay, sorry. The major thing here though is like with networking, port numbers are like apartment numbers. They share the same address. They're different units within the same role. Port numbers go up to like 65,000 and some change. Get the exact numbers. Two data
Oh my god, look at how cute.
24.
I was like, dang.
Two.
Oh my god, we can activate that on search. This is so easy.
So I helped he kind of did,
Wait, you're doing it now? I will let you, I don't want like the lead plots going out.
65,000.
this would be fun.
So that's how many port numbers are. You can have port numbers, usually the bottom like couple hundred have already been chosen for things. They're industry standard. You shouldn't really allocate anything to these port numbers. So like for example, the default for SSH is 22. So if I do UFW,
I think it's interesting.
yeah, sudo UFW status. Well, let me do sudo UFW enable real quick. So you normally want to get your firewall rules set before you enable it. Because, for example, if you don't have any allowed rules, by default, most firewall rules will block everything that you don't have a rule for. So if you don't have any rules and you enable it, you lock yourself out of your system.
I was like, it automatically just enables everything and then you can't.
Well, it's don't imagine like it enables everything. It's more like by default everything is closed. By default, your mailbox is locked, unless you say you're receiving mail.
So the firewall will block everything unless you specify it open in a specific area.
Yeah, there's more nuance to it. There's more nuance. Yeah, sorry.
Because I think nobody that you let you go at has access to that box anymore.
Oh dear. How are you guys doing over there? Or guys, you got knocked out?
It's a long story.
Simeon, I'm guessing since you're no longer actively working on it, you also got knocked out?
No, I pretty much hard on my system. There's nothing else they can do. So I'm just sitting here chilling.
I made mine.
They did what with your system?
They got
Wait,
it.
are you trying to open
So they got it, but you okay.
I can't get back in.
Are you two tapped out?
Oh, I'm definitely tapped out.
Okay, they're tapped out. I think there was one other one which was 70
Are you sure?
that maybe would be wise to take a look at. Did you guys take a look at that one?
You really shouldn't, like,
Alright, why don't you go ahead and take a look at
it's
70?
like bare bones over.
But the reason I bring that up is because I'm pretty sure what they did is they SSH did and then turned UFWR as one for good connections.
Make my ER.
Oh, well, are you, so the thing is apparently they believe that you guys already got into their system, that they're tapped out.
Oh no, this is completely self-inflicted.
I helped it along.
Did you guys, okay, I need y'all to hear what they just said. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this up. Say what you just said to me.
Who?
No, them. In the Discord. Say again what you just said to me.
Who, Luke or me?
Oh, no, to me about what the status of their systems were in terms of who did what.
That is. Wait,
So can we confirm that what they did is SSH in and then block all the traffic?
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
So go ahead and say what you said again.
Hey, wait, Robert. Can
There was
I
a network
consult with you?
interruption and their connections died, so they couldn't get back in either.
So what they're saying is everything that happened was self-inflicted. I need y'all to hear that.
So, okay.
That's why I don't want to talk about it. Yes.
When I decided that that's what you guys did, because Gold Team couldn't get in, there were no ports that seemed open, but I saw that there were some SSH connections from the jump box. So I just decided to kill those and see if you could get back in, and you never did.
So I guess like after action report, like what configuration change did y'all make to lock yourself out with any new connections? Was it not putting in a firewall rule to allow SSH back in from the jump box, or?
Well, what happened was I disabled like any incoming traffic, and I was like, oh, let's be extra smart and actually disabled SSH, so no one could come in.
You know that's not.
Okay.
We're gonna have to have a boot camp, I think, on Thursday. I'm gonna have to organize that.
I need to.
Wait, Robert, mute yourself.
Give me 1 second.
So,
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're making a little honey pot, and if we do it for port, will it kick us out if we're already coming through that port?
as long as you don't have a network interrupt, like
Patrick,
they
you
have.
remember, I know this is probably.
Your active sessions will stay open unless you lose connection or close them.
In a recent
Okay.
competition or
So
something.
just fingers crossed you don't
But
lose
we
connection.
only have port 22 open.
Oh,
You can also
no,
change
I
it.
know exactly, I think it was West Florida,
Yeah.
it was the
And yes,
VPN
it's
service, the open
As long
VPN
as it's not
service, they
legal.
locked themselves out intentionally, and then the red team was considering putting in an inject to
Well,
go,
so just, I know they are.
go update open VPN or something along those lines, and to see how they would handle it,
Which is my only thing.
so,
But
just another war
with
story.
Another port
So
open,
yeah, I figured.
that's.
I think we had a similar situation at the last SECCDC,
Put it on like 80 or something and they.
where
say
a
80,
team
and
locked
then they
themselves
say
out of their
80
box
over
and
80,
red team couldn't even get in.
And then they get to the trap. Okay,
Very similar
so
situation.
let me
Um,
allow firewall.
And it was the same story where I don't even know if it was necessarily intentional on their part, but more of a happy accident that their service stayed up. So,
yeah,
So yeah, moral of the story is you need to be able to get back into your box if you lose connection.
pro tip, when it comes to SSH, we've seen it happen in competitions before. Sometimes when you log in the machine, you need to check the configs that are there already. I don't think these ones are incredibly sour, they might be sour from the get-go, but sometimes the SSH configs will have wonderful details, such as allowing any key file to perform logins. By that meaning, usually you have a private key and a public key, and you need the correct one in order to get the machine. And I forget what the exact config was, but there was one that literally would accept any key. So if you didn't know the password, that's fine, as long as you had literally any key, you would manage to be able to log into the system. And it didn't matter how many passwords you changed on users, unless you changed that config, it would change diddly squat about them being able to get into your system. So it's very important to kind of config the
A
config.
similar capability on these systems.
Sorry, what was that?
I have a similar capability on all of these systems.
Do you still have that, what was it? It was the magic something or other script? Remember the one for web
oh,
servers?
mine, or is this a different one?
Remember the one that allowed arbitrary code execution?
That is not my doing. I will be first
Oh
to
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Robert.
That's definitely there.
So when we
Yeah,
went to
that's
like
it.
allow services, we have to do
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sudo UFW
What's this?
allow and then that service.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can do either the specific port, or usually they will have presets for the default port. So if you say sudo UFW allow SSH, it'll do port 22 for you.
Oh.
But if you change the
I
port-
see where the mistake was. Did y'all change the port for SSH?
I changed it to no.
You change it to
No.
no.
Okay.
Pro tip, never change anything to a port within the first couple hundred, because those are usually set to other services. I'd say the first 100 is pretty much
So-
off limits.
How was I to like allow gold team? Would I have to do like sudo UFW allow gold?
No. So like sudo UFW allow, like when you change the SSH port, that applies globally to any SSH connection, and usually you don't even want to change the SSH port,
Yeah.
even though it is a good practice on your own machines when you do it on a machine that's not yours, or other people need to have access to. It's a bear because usually you have to do a change report to gold team and this and that, and you can break the grading. And so 9 times out of 10, you can't rely on just changing the port. Security through security doesn't work that well, and they can just do a port scan. And it's a bear trying to get the right people to know the right port, and they have to change the script. So 9 times out of 10, you gotta just rely on other things that you're doing. I mean, am I speaking truths?
But what would
Yeah, so that's what they were talking about, just adding another.
what would the command?
I'll take that as
Like,
yes.
what would the command like to allow these
So I don't know how loud that
firewall?
problem ready.
If you know what port number you need a connection on, sudo UFW allow that port. So it's just a number.
So
Because every port's just a number.
So what would gold be? What port number would gold be?
Yes, allow.
Well, if they're connected over SSH, then it's
That's an account. That's
Yeah,
an
that's-
account.
yeah, that's an account in the
So-
system.
So how do you allow this specific thing?
Well, then that's
you
up to
can
Sorry.
you can change the credentials to that, but you have to let Gold Team know, hey, we have changed the credentials, otherwise it's just borked.
You can't change the specific port for just one.
It's yeah. It's not like there's a specific SSH service, but
It's out of scope for Red Team.
yes. So
But in an actual competition, it's a bare changing SSH port due to the fact it usually breaks gold team's access as well until you notify them. And half the
Yeah,
time,
it should never be changing if they give you a gold team user, you shouldn't touch it at all. And if you change, you should, if they let you reach SSH, you'll need to tell them what port you should reach it.
Yeah.
highly
I
recommend.
remember, I think Andy from Kennesaw got pretty upset that people were touching a gold account and messing stuff up for scoring.
Pro tip.
Last time their documentation was drawn, so there was it was a Django web service. And it had, Chris Barris had an account on there and we deleted it, and then he came to us mad until he realized it wasn't in the docs.
Pro tip, look through the documentation for the SSH config file. Because there's a lot of things in there, like you can allow or deny certain user groups and users. You can allow certain PAM modules to say delay login, so like when you get the wrong password, you can say, you can enforce a cooldown of a certain amount of time. You can do filtering based off IP address, so you can do rate limiting. On the SSH, there's a ton of different fun stuff you can do the SSH config to make it way harder to break into.
It's not that SSH config.
No, it's literally, so in the user folder there's the .sh directory, and within that there's the SSH config folder for that user. When it comes to the system config folder, that's usually, I think, like under slash, it's like slash etc slash ssh slash ssd, sshd underscore config, I think is the file.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, you might need to check that.
Can we like go over hardening of practice on Thursday?
Yes, today was a little bit of a litmus test, just to get people able to connect to the range, and also to see where everyone was at.
Because
I know there's some people here, and this is no disrespect, this is not, but you guys just don't have any experience. So this is this is what Thursday will be, is sort of a boot camp. Because some of it's not necessarily knowing how to do it, but just knowing what on earth you're doing. Because there's a slight difference between knowing how Linux works and also knowing how to secure it. Unfortunately, one comes before the other. I mean, not to a complete extent, but it usually helps a lot. So, okay, so
I just added the SSH patch for services.
Man, I struggle with people's names, but apparently I remember the directory and file for the SSH config. That's neat.
So I was gonna add one other thing. Is everyone familiar with what Wazza is, or Wazoo, or however you pronounce it?
I think people know the name, but maybe not necessarily what it is anymore.
Okay, so what it is it's a SIEM, so Security Information Event Manager. And one of the fun capabilities of it is you can actually do benchmarking and compliance. Now, why is that important? It will give you recommended changes to SSH configuration files. I have done that on my machines. It is amazing. So if you want to test it out, I would spin up 2 virtual machines, one, whatever it is, Ubuntu, whatever, and one for the Wazza server, point the Ubuntu or whatever to the Wazza server, then it'll run a baseline or benchmark test, and you can check the configuration, see if it's right or not.
I think you might just explain that, but let me just for my sanity.
I can show you what it looks like on my end.
Well, I was gonna say is, when you're running Wazza, is that an external, like you're running Wazza on one machine and then you're pulling it on another trying to do a litmus test, or you're running it on a machine?
So you put the agent on your node, on your other box, and then you would have Wazza on the other. Wazza on one box, another box for testing configuration.
Which is
I see.
beautiful.
So
There's only 2 of us.
I'm gonna have to try that out, because I've been getting a crazy amount of network intrusion attempts on by Linux, by web server, so I'd love to get some auditing and some testing to see where my configs lie with that. So.
And one other thing, I would say one good like baselines or benchmarks to look at for hardening systems. It's NIST 853 or
Did you take the placement test? Or?
yeah, NIST 853. That's a good
Well,
one.
they know what you're gonna be.
Can you?
I'll find it out.
He's already dropped it's so easy to link to that.
Sure. Some numbers like you can't post for everyone. Yeah, or like you like do the grouping.
I asked them to kind of take a look at you and tour you a little bit, if you you were able to
Was
area.
there like anything
Here you
significant
go.
around 70?
Like high school.
Passwords were changed.
Yeah, we changed passwords. We made only SSH available on 22.
So why did that happen? Did you know?
It's because they want to like
Made it so only a
Yeah, sorry that this meeting was a little bit dry and I kind of kept bouncing off you guys for a little bit. We are going to definitely have to have a boot camp next week though. Do you feel like you understand a little bit how connecting to the range works? I know we kind of like, I immediately, we went from alright, you're in the machine, let's talk about firewalls. There's a little bit more to it than that. I hope you can forgive the sort of rush nature of the so, do you guys have any specific questions, comments, concerns, customers when it comes to connecting to a machine and how that works? I know I had to do a little bit of configuring myself to get it to work, so.
So once you're connected, you're in the
So, yeah, okay, yeah. So bastions are jump bots. So that's basically these, this goes, so this comes from either here, or it doesn't go here. Because we have to be able to access this somehow from this, right? So it's a little bit confusing, but you can actually connect from these right here. This is mainly talking about the fields on the internet. Public summit, so you can see that, and this is a little bit more, some of these have specific rules or something. What's up? What's up?
Would a screenshot of what like I'm talking about with the auditing configuration assessment?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can grab that for you. And put it in that. Where do you want to put that resources?
Yeah, go with that resource.
That's neat. Cool.
Yes. Now, important to note, like when it comes to competitions, there's not always a blue team. Sorry, there's not always a red team, and there's not because there's not always a red team. There's blue team kind of like doesn't really like. Well, the point is, blue team, red team. Blue team's usually a defender, red team's usually an attacker. Blue team usually never attacks. Usually we're scrambling to defend because usually red team contains industry professionals, cybersecurity experts.
So you gotta.
You are on. They will keep you on your toes. And near the end of the competition, they will like have you like they will like have like they will ruin your day by the end of the competition. And that's not to say it's like terrible the whole way through. Like the whole point is like you're working on these systems. This is your worst case scenario.
They're gonna get it.
They are.
It's a matter of how long you can
like even the best teams usually by the end have some services that are going down when it's a live environment. Like some competitions are forensics based, so the idea is you are doing like you are looking for clues, you are looking for like artifacts. Yeah, so there is different genres of cybersecurity. There's what I call like active live environments, like SCCD, so you're actively defending systems. You have sort of a hybrid, like we just did with ICC, which is you have VMs that you're giving which are live systems, but you don't have anyone actively attacking. If that makes sense. You are just trying to patch various vulnerabilities and fixing various problems these machines have.
So it's either you're fixing it or you're
not necessarily. A forensics, well, because like the idea is like
forensics is like you're looking at artifacts that
possibly, yeah. And then even there's ones like NCL where it's just a series of questions. Like you need to know how to do like whether it be password cracking, steganography, which is like hiding data and text within images. So it's not cybersecurity is not just protecting systems. There's more to it than that. A lot of those building blocks do come together. For various things. What's that?
Are you under the attacking team?
So usually we're still, in order to attack, you know how to read them. First, you have to protect, you need to know where the holes are. comes out to either attack or so most of the time here because it's a learning, most of the time you're defending because it's a lot easier to block holes than it is to exploit.
Hey Robert,
What's up?
question, did you get an email about Raymond James at all today?
Yes, I did. I need to fill out the super performance.
No, not that.
No.
We gotta, there's like a practice.
Oh yes, I also saw that email come in. I hadn't had the chance to read it yet, unfortunately.
Did you get, well, I know you just said that.
Oh, because I'm the team captain.
Because there was supposed to be an attachment.
Yeah, we did get an attachment. That's what I
We
said.
assumed that they gave it to the captain.
Here's my favorite COVID story. I did bring
And
chapters too.
it's due on the 20th.
I don't have anything to John Lawrence. He's like, the cards flashlight online is to go to the office.
Robert, you cool if we put this on your laptop?
Huh?
Hey, Rob.
Cool if we put this on your laptop?
My laptop?
Yeah.
No, because it would block the first sensor.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Unfortunately, it's the shape of it.
No, see that little no, it was literally just like a PDF. Do a piece of paper, PDF scan, email.
Yeah, like open source in class isn't, it's not entirely cheapable, but like, I can Google it.
Oh, that's just bad. Sorry about that. Also, think about Microsoft now that yourself yet again.
Yeah.
That's neat.
It's not that. Yeah, but if you add everything, like, I just math's an easier one to open up, but it's like, it's just sort of, like, yeah, I just Google that here and see what's
I did, but I also, this has everything, including
No one counts
except for.
No, it's because you grab these things.
Sometimes.
so you gotta take it down below.
No, the question was in like, there's one dude who I cannot open his chest. I have no idea what he sent me. I said, I don't have to open it and be active.
Was it the kitchen food show?
What's that? Yeah, hey guys, I don't wanna keep you much longer, cause I know it's getting kinda late, I don't wanna like, for example, if you ride the bus, if you walk. If anyone, I highly encourage everyone who attended tonight, come to Thursday's meeting, where we're gonna do a little bit of a boot camp, when it comes to securing machines, man, we're flying through that, you can do with that. Basically the basics of once you get in the machine, what do you do to secure, what's the basic holes, do you stop up, what do you check for? So it's gonna be a boot camp for that. I'd say, important things to take away from tonight, to make sure you remember for Thursday, so we have it kind of smooth. Try and kind of look over, I'm gonna say keep, hey Luke, if it's alright with you, I'm gonna keep the range open for a couple more hours tonight. If you'd be willing to just like, if you don't remember, try logging into the range again, getting into at least the jump box. So that way you know how to use the range like PEM file. So that way we don't have to go through setting that up on Thursday and we can get right to getting into the machines and securing them. I can also put some notes out on that, but I'd say try and get comfortable with that. I'm gonna probably shut that down at midnight tonight, the range. If you guys want, I can open it tomorrow if you wanna mess around with it before Thursday. But that is the biggest thing I would like y'all to take away from tonight. I really am becoming so I'm saying y'all every other sentence.
There's simple things there.
Don't make an iron dome that don't come in or out of.
Yeah, well, that's stuff we're going to cover on Thursday. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from tonight is how to get into the boxes in the first place, because from there we're going to actually get into the specifics of what you do.
Yeah.
Sound cool?
That sounds good.
All right. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to come to me afterwards. But